Tsi pour accompagner les sauts des Allemands. Tiens, Tsi, c'est le nom d'un nouveau podcast.
Et même le podcast francophone de saut à ski et combiné nordique. Chaque semaine, retrouvez résultats, analyses, statistiques et même des interviews passionnantes dans Ziiiiiiiiiiieh. Bonsoir et bienvenue pour ce 35e épisode de Ziiiiiiiieh. On reprend là où on s'était arrêté, on reprend l'entretien avec Michal CHMIELEWSKI. On parle donc de saut à ski en Pologne, saut à ski combiné, des équipes nationales du haut niveau, de la technique. Je vous laisse retrouver mon entretien avec lui et puis bonne écoute.
Let's go to the, let's say, national team and high-level ski jumping in Poland. First of all, on a personal point of view, do you have relation with the athletes or with the official, with the federation as a journalist? These people are easy to talk with, are they nice?
Well, I would say they are not easy because so many people want to talk to them. They are like the Beatles in Poland. Maybe not these days, not that much as it was 20 years ago, but still there are so many people want to touch, want to have a photo, wants to have an interview, and so many different duties, media duties. And I can easily understand they are a bit exhausted of this. But on the other hand, they should know that this interest gives them money. So it's not the easiest situation for them, obviously, because as every people in the every single person in the world, they want from time to time to have relax, and sometimes they don't have this chance. But personally, I can tell you some athletes that I have better contact with. Some of them are not that open to the media, which I can totally understand. As in life, some of them are more nice, some of them are a bit less, and it's I think it's really normal. But being in this environment for longer gives you this opportunity to be a I don't know how to say, a person that they can trust, or maybe not. Also, sportsmen or sportswomen in this new era of internet, of having World Wide Web and so on, are a bit more sensitive than they were in the past. Sometimes they are angry of what you are telling about them, saying about them, and so on. And this makes it from time to time tough to explain and so on. I discovered it a couple of years ago, and just wave my shoulders and say, okay, this is this world, and we cannot do anything with that.
And you have as well, for your work, relation with the international federation, the FIS, which are not your best friend, it seems, from your publications. Can you explain us what's wrong from your point of view as journalist, or as from your media, because you probably discussed this topic before writing your articles. What's wrong from the Polish point of view with the International Federation?
First of all, I can see ski jumping decreasing as a discipline. It's instead of growing as it was in the 80s, in the 90s, it started to be less important for the people. Less countries are practicing these sports. Less people are watching this on the television. There were numbers proving this, and the FIS should do something to change it, to fix it. But in my eyes, they are not doing too much. ski jumping as a discipline is organized and directed by, I don't know how to say, maybe not the biggest group, not the best prepared group of the people. There are so many aspects to be fixed right now, and I don't see the proper move that they are doing so, actually, that they are thinking of it, that they are really trying to make ski jumping great again. Let's say so. Also in 2009, they have invented this calculation for the wind and the gate, which is a good idea, but wrong used these days. The technical delegates are waving with the gate so many times during this competition, which makes it completely unclear. In the regions, ski jumping was about who is flying the longest distance with the best style. And right now, it has so many calculations into it. Iga Świątek, this tennis player, was asked once by Eurosport, "Are you loving to watch ski jumping or something like that?" And she said, "I don't understand them," which is
terrible.
Which is terrible, because Iga is not the only one who can say this.
My older boy is 5 years old, and I try to explain it, and I just stop. Let's just watch, and let's talk when you are 10 years old about the rules, because it's it's so difficult. Just enjoy watching the jumps,
because sorry, but this is the most important thing. Ski jumping is a beautiful discipline in general. Having a chance to fly on the skis a quarter of a kilometer in the air, this is beautiful to watch. But it should be still a sport, and the sport should be fair. I don't see ski jumping now as a fair sport, and this is the problem in my eyes.
But in the other end, I am a pro compensation. I support this rule, and I want them to be more accurate, because it's going in the good direction for fairness. And yes, but sometimes I want to be the guy which is choosing the gates, because they make decision that for example, in ski flying, at the first ski flying of the season, it's from the World Cup ranking, and sometimes you have a really good flyer in the first 10 jumpers, and he's jumping really far, and they just decrease two gates, and you know that the 5 or 10 guys after will not fly far.
So why don't they make they get higher back?
If you know ski jumping, if you watch ski jumping, and I suppose these people know about ski jumping, you know that Domen Preutz will jump far in Kulm, and that the guy after Pius Paschke will jump less far. It's ski jumping. If you are a fan, you know that. And they are still decreasing 2 gates, and that's make me crazy. But
the same here. Many Polish journalists would say the same. Also, the spectators.
The problem probably is not the rule or the compensation, which are going, for me, as a good step in equality. I hate that the best didn't win because of wind, but it's how they use this rule, and that's probably as probably the biggest with Germany country. Do you have influence? I say the Polish Federation or the Polish media, can you have an influence of the in the next rules that will be decided?
I wouldn't say so. FIS is doing this on their own, and I don't see any will for a discussion. From time to time, Sandro Pertila on the ski jumping hill is asking journalists what do they think about this or that, but later there are no effects of these talks. So as you can see, this is the huge problem. I wrote many articles about that. I still love ski jumping in general as a discipline, but I don't love the World Cup, because it's from time to time is surrealistic to me. Why do people, for instance, Gregor Deschwanden didn't qualify for the competition in Planica once after the jump for 230.5 meters? And how to explain it to Iga Świątek or your son? It's almost impossible.
Yeah, you're right. So let's hope they will go in a more realistic direction. Talking about the rules, let's talk about the ski jumping suits. And okay, we have a topic with Poland this winter. I don't know how you treated this from the inside, but from outside, from France and other countries, Polish jumpers, the male one, were having skewer suits, so piotrziła between the legs. It was huge. So what was your impression or the feeling from inside? Because we had the impression that some performances were really helped by the ski jumping suits.
Yes, and we can connect this topic with the previous one, with the problems inside the FIS, because Mika Jukkara, who was in the previous years the technical delegate for measuring the equipment in the World Cup, decided to change the rules. How are the athletes measured? So he implemented the idea that he will find the length of the body in the sitting position. And first of all, while lying, people were trying to be as I don't know how to say, as short as possible. Mm-hmm. But then while sitting, they were trying to lengthen their upper part of the body with the head. And in the end, some athletes were shorter than in real. In the documents after this measuring, before the last season, they were shorter, I don't know, 5 or 6 centimeters than they actually are.
Yes. Yukiya Sato, for example.
Exactly. Also, Piotr got shorter, Kamil got shorter, and so on. So, in the end, it was made for a purpose. In the end, they were using longer suits because thanks to this new system of measuring the athletes. If comparing this to the documents, showed the new director of measuring the equipment that okay, it's all clear, but you can obviously see by eye that they are not okay. But it was a mistake taken by FIS in general and used by the athletes and the technical staff inside the teams.
I will say hate as a kid, but that's not fair. So okay,
it is.
The sportsman and the team, they use it. It's sports. They want win and so on. But how is it possible to not change something during the season? The whole season was Piotrziła with the flying and the wings.
He looked like in a wingsuit from time to time.
And from outside, it's crazy. Okay, that didn't change during the season. After the Four Hills tournament was like obvious for everyone. And another hot topic is the quota. So how many jumper you have per country, and what do you think, and what Polish side think about the removing one quota in World Cup for the big countries?
Coach Thomas Turbichler explained it in the best way, that every country is losing, every best country among these best, the top 6, let's call it, is losing now the place for a perspective junior, junior with perspectives, that he had to had a chance before to travel through the World Cup, to gain the experience, to see the best of the best, and by this improving himself. Right now, having only 5 athletes in the World Cup, we have no space for that kind of person, because we have so many good athletes that are worth traveling to the World Cup instead of Conti Cup. And this is a big problem in my eyes. I'm pretty sure the athletes and the teams will get into the new rules, and because what else should they do? But it wouldn't help small nations. It wouldn't help because in the Continental Cup next season we would see more experienced, more good jumpers than before from these top 6 countries. And in the end, to get your tickets to the World Cup, you should be at least once in the top 30. So for the smaller countries, it now would be more difficult to get into this top 30. And this is one thing. Also,
for the French jumpers,
for example, yeah, but they are not trying to compete in the World Cup as it was in the last
this season.
winter.
Yes, sure.
But in general, if FIS wants to help smaller nations, they should cut the quota, but in the same way make the Continental Cup stronger. I mean, with more with higher prize money, with higher interest by the people, with broadcasts live, at least by FIS on their channels in social media or something like that. But now Continental Cup is getting higher, is getting growing instead of the World Cup, because there will be more experienced athletes ready for doing something special. And the same way, it is invisible. So in general, the number 6 or 7 in a country like Poland, in Austria, in Slovenia, and so on will get retired, because he had, on the other hand, no chance to compete in the World Cup, and on the other hand, no chance to earn any money in the Continental Cup, because they are extremely funny, these amounts that you can win in the second league.
Yes, it's you are how to say that. Today, going back from 18 to Continental Cup is like a punishment for a jumper. Okay, because they don't will be broadcast and no prize money, and so you want a sponsor. You say, but nobody will see your helm. Why should I pay thousands of euros to give you money that nobody will see?
Exactly.
But the Continental Cup is the level is incredibly high and higher, and something should be done to broadcast it.
So why not to show it to the people? In tennis, there are so many tournaments shown by television, broadcasted worldwide. Why don't do that? I don't say the same, but in the same way, to try to copy that into the ski jumping, if it's working.
But we are huge fans, and we want to see more ski jumping. And I'm not sure in France there is no market for sure. But do you think in Poland, if you broadcast one men competition, one woman competition, we will go to that topic after, and plus one COC each Saturday, each Sunday, will people watch it?
we from time to time, my television is broadcasting also the FIS Cup taking place in Poland. And
Yes.
once we got the broadcast, which was followed by more than 500,000 of people. A third league of ski jumping was followed by more than 500,000. So it shows that we have a market for this. In Slovenia, probably also. In Germany, I don't know, but maybe as well. In Norway as well. So it is a chance, not maybe to do a huge broadcast made by 10 cameras and so on, but a small one with 3 or 4 cameras. It's enough for that.
Sometimes I watch the national Norway championships, 2 cameras, one in the slope, one at the bottom, and you can follow the competition. It's nice. And I will say to the French jumpers that 5,000 people watch them having a podium in
500,000.
500,000. So it's huge. Watch the only male podium of the winter in this windy Zakopane.
Yeah, it was crazy. I was there. I was there. This was super funny to watch it when Pascal Kahofer jumped 98 meters and finished as a 12.
And I was in front of my FIS application doing refresh because Mathis Contamine was second for a long time, and first for a long time, and just Martin Amann broke the dream. But it was funny because we knew that it was windy and it was like a joke, but it's good. I just moved forward. Your team today is an old team. You have Kamil Stock, David, Piotr, Machi, and so on. And they have so many success. So nobody can tell them go away, and they are still good. But do you think that they just making a missed generation, the Jakub Wolny, Pavel Vacek, and so on? They just have to fight for place because the old one are still the best one.
It's a tough topic to be solved or explained because nobody should send them for a retirement when they want to jump and they are better than the others. You can see Manuel Fettner, which is now 38 years old, and he had a huge season last winter, and also he won a medal, being a bit older than the rest in Beijing in 2022. So you can never predict when the jumper could have his big season or the best shape in his career. So of course we missed one generation, and it was a generation that grew up thanks for Adam Małysz era. But right now I don't see we are losing anyone. Maybe some athletes are not enough ready for fighting for them. Adam Małysz, after Nagano Olympics, also was by one foot in the other world instead of ski jumping. His family asked him to jump more and more, and he decided, okay, I can give myself additional 2 seasons, and the second season was this huge one. So not everyone is prepared for being a champion. I remember that after Adam Małysz era, we also had a big discussion what will happen to ski jumping in Poland after this great athlete, and what happened. Now we have 3 instead of 1 huge athletes and world champions. So probably I have one theory about that Kamil Stoch, as a great champion, is I don't know if it's a good word in English, affecting the rest. I'm sorry if it's
we can understand, yes.
wrong word, but the same story was with Adam Małysz. We had a great champion and the rest. Now we have top 3 and the rest. Maybe these younger athletes can do better, can clean their minds in the moment when we were finally not compared into the big ones. You know what I mean? That if you have a great athlete by your side, you are always compared. Okay, you are worse. You're doing this or that, and look at Kamil. What is he doing? Maybe when they were retired one day, these younger athletes can grow up more and faster.
Okay.
I don't know. I hope so.
We talked about Martin Fourcade earlier, and he made the French team better. Being Martin Fourcade and being each year more better and with focus on sport and so on. And if we have a French good strong team today, it's because they follow the path. It's just like Moïse opening the sea and say, "Follow me, guys. I am the best one, but if you follow me, you can be the second, the third one in the world." And it was impressive. And you have, in a way, you have the same because David Kubacki, other Piotr Joua, they were 25 years old, not so successful, and now they are in the top 5 or top 10 in the world.
Even David is saying that in the past he had no talent to ski jumping, but he had the talent for hard work, and that gave him successes.
And he was the guy of the first jump, and I remember during years and years he was the good one in the first jump, and now he's good each jump. Can you just tell us a word about the coach, the main coach, Tom Bischler, which is Austrian, so you don't have a Polish coach. It's from the outside, it looks like an interesting personality. The tattoos, the smile, the face make that you cannot be in front of him and have no feeling. It's someone which look really interesting.
He is a type of an interesting person, definitely. We had a chance to have the very first interview with him while he landed in Poland finally last spring. And it was an interview in the skate park because he's a skateboarder. So he showed us some skills and drills, and it was quite funny. And in the beginning, there was a danger in our minds that maybe this elder generation in the A team would not fit into that crazy guy. But apparently it's gone to the completely different way. And right now they are, of course, friends. They call them by name instead of Mr. and Mrs.
They have the same age, in fact.
Thomas is younger than Kamil.
Okay.
And also than Piotr. So the last season proved that it worked. He had fresh ideas. He had fresh observation methods of training. So it went good, and I hope that Thomas will stay here for a long time because he also had some ideas how to improve the junior system of teaching the discipline, the ski jumping, and yeah. What else to say? It's really nice to talk to him. He's an open person, I would say. He understands the media. He understands the
pressure.
need, the pressure also, but the needs of the athletes, which is really important.
It's like sometimes some coach are like umbrella to remove the rain from the jumpers. They say, okay, let's talk to me about the good and bad results and protect the jumpers.
Yeah, the really impressive thing was after Kulm flying last season when Polish jumpers didn't do their best job during if we compare it to the rest of the season. But in the end, Thomas came to the reporters and said, "It's my fault, not the athlete's fault. It was my fault because I was coaching them for the first ever time on the ski flying hill as a head coach. And in the end, I gave them too many advices instead of saying, okay, let's do your job. It's flying, have fun. So it was really impressive because none of previous head coaches were ready to say it was my mistake in the public.
It's yes, impressive. And do you think there is a Polish style in the in-run or in the fly? Slovenian fly, Norwegian fly, German push. What about the Polish style or no style?
Oh no, we don't have any school of ski jumping. I see. You can watch Dawid Kubacki, which is flying in totally different way than Piotr Żyła, who is who has his own special style, especially in ski flying. Also,
But-
Kamil Stoch has a different technique, so
And-
I wouldn't say we have any national school of technique in ski jumping.
In the lowest level, when they are kids, there was no, okay, let's fly how you are and we try to improve you.
It's like that. It's like that.
Okay.
We have two different schools in Beskidy Mountains, also in Tatra Mountains. There are two groups.
Okay.
So different traditions, different methods used by the coaches in the region. So I wouldn't say that we have any specific school.
Okay. Let's go to less successful topic for you. Women ski jumping. What's wrong? Because you have so many good men and you have the support, you have the jumping hills, the teams, the trainers. So why the woman doesn't jump in the best level?
Is it the moment for a minute of silence right now?
You can.
I don't know, Romain. I don't really know, because maybe it's really hard to say, because my theory is that coaching women, to coach women, you should be prepared in different way. You should be more a psychologist instead of the coach, or both in the same way, in the same moment. Also the pressure of them, also the interest were too high. We started too late. I can easily find on YouTube videos that Adam Małysz or Apollonie Steiner are saying that jumping for women is not the best idea to train. They were totally wrong, and now they are saying in totally reverse way that okay, they should jump as men, because you can easily find also the data made by specialists that they are the same persons as men. Is the same biological situation, or maybe even better, because they are wider in the upper, in the middle part of body. I don't know how to call it in English, but
Yes.
they can do the same work as men, and we now all understand this. That's why we try to maybe improve this by having a contract with Harald Rodlauer, a very famous coach from Austria, who won the Crystal Globe with Eva Pinkel, Niklas Zizum, and decide to, I don't know why, come to Poland, but thanks God we've having him. But my theory in general is that at the early age, these ladies, maybe some of them not too much talented, but we had a lack of jumpers, so they joined the national team as a very young athletes, and they were not ready for the pressure. They were not ready for the interest of the media. People were asking them why don't you jump as Adam Małysz yet?
Okay.
What else should you do? How to improve your skill and so on? We are not patient, and also inside the group there were smaller groups. The athletes were not liking each other from time to time. There were, like an acid atmosphere inside this group. So this is a really big problem that I cannot understand.
The federation supports women ski jumping, so within the next 5 to 10 years, we will see some Polish women at the hill, and I was just checking. Do you know? I think there is no woman event in the Winter World Cup in Poland.
Yeah. Probably not, because we have this tour this season, so that there is no maybe no spot for women. Such a pity, to be honest. But I remember the season 11-12, the first one for ladies as the World Cup circuit, and there were plans to organize it in Szczyrk. There were no snow enough
Okay.
to make it, and then a decade later, finally we got the competition in Wisla last autumn, and I hope them to be back. But what to organize the competition if there are no athletes? People have to have some will to attend this as a spectators. Nowadays we don't have too many options who to follow and to cheer for.
It was sad in Wisła last season, because the competition was just like 2 hours in between men and women, and one was with full of spectators, the men, and it was empty. The was empty for women. It was really sad to see from the outside and say, what's wrong and why it's ski jumping. And
Yeah, Romain, but it's a tough topic, because as a spectator you won't spend whole day on the jumping hill. You want to eat something, you want to take a rest, to get into the warmer area when it's cold outside. And I can totally understand people that they don't want to come for a whole day for a ski jumping hill. And it's also the big case about doing a common weekend for women and the men, because it's normal that people are not ready for spending a whole day outside during the winter time, snowy, rainy, or something like that. And same way, I don't really understand women. Why do they really want to have these weekends? Because having the single weekend in a place that there is a tradition of women's ski jumping can make a I don't know how to say, sorry, produce a bigger interest for the people. Did you watch a World Cup in Ljubno last
yes,
winter? There were
I was in Interzaten, so dedicated to women's ski jumping.
Exactly, and this is beautiful. And they had the tournament Sylvester Tour with Villach. Why not to build their own tradition instead of copy the men's side? It's obvious that people usually will come for the men's side. I don't know why, but it is, and we have to force it somehow. And I don't really understand why do they really want to have this common weekends instead of building their own tradition.
I will just answer one souvenir of last season. Katharina Althaus won in front of 20,000 people in Villingen, and because people were already here for the men competition, and it was crazy, and that makes them full of joys.
Yes, but German team has a tradition. German team has a success. So,
but your opinion is really interesting, because I was more in the other side, to be honest. I was in thinking that combined events make that people are here and they're watching both competition. But I understand and I agree in a lot of points with you that when you are dedicated, you are the big star of the day, and you are the main focus is on you, sure.
Exactly.
But about the people attending and cheering, only the souvenir of Villingen with so many people spending the whole day, that's sure. And I was preparing my day at Vikersund, so I didn't attend because of my leg, but I was calculating that I will spend like 8 or 9 hours at the hill. So not everybody want to do that. I fully agree with you. But in the other side, you have both competition. You take your car or you fly. and you have one hotel, and instead of one competition, you see two competitions. So I think
but on the other hand, you get exhausted after this weekend. Instead of having fun,
but happy.
That happy.
But
Exactly.
it's that's why we discuss that all the point of view are good, and you are right. Your example in Wisla show that the combined event in Wisla was not successful. Let's see if you have a few minutes more about the Nordic combination in Poland, because you know that French athletes are, in a way, at least the men, better in Nordic combine, than in ski jumping. You don't have the same history, but you see progresses, or that the federation is supporting this sport.
Not really. We had a brilliant team in terms of what we expected. Even in 2019 in Seefeld World Champs, we had a team on the men's side. Right now, we have got only 2 athletes ready for taking part in the World Cup: Joanna Kil and Andrzej Szczachowicz. Andrzej is really far away from the top level right now, and I don't know how to understand this as a fan of the Nordic disciplines in winter skiing, but in general, in my eyes, Nordic combining is a really hard discipline to train. Also, Michal did say that it's one of the hardest disciplines to train.
The opposite.
And I can easily understand why do young athletes don't want to practice. They don't want to be exhausted. Also, they don't see any possibility to get famous maybe in the future. As a ski jumper in Poland, you will be, a star, but being a Nordic combiner, you would be absolutely still absolutely anonymous. So for what you should spend whole day during the training if you on the other hand can only go for a ski jumping and try to be a star and to earn money, and this is a really big problem also for Nordic combining in general, because people are watching this less and less. IOC said that if nothing really happened, nothing really changed, probably the Winter Olympics in Cortina d'Ampezzo would be the last one for Nordic combined in the Olympic program. So it's sad on one hand, but on the other hand, it's the responsibility of FIS to making it better.
Yes, and that's something we follow, because in France, Nordic combine is important. We have the only in ski jumping, we don't have Olympic champion. We have 2 Olympic champions in the past. It's a transition, so that's my moment of silence. What is the Polish point of view of the ski jumping in France? So specifically the A team, both men and women.
In France,
yes. So what do you think about our jumper? I follow on Twitter that a lot of Polish people thought that we were having really nice young jumpers like 3, 4, 5 years ago, and they don't arrive at the World Cup level, at this top 30 at least level, and sometimes the words on Twitter were quite rude, that the federation, something was missed to make them at the top level. Is it a common impression from outside?
It is actually. I don't see any goal for the French athletes in ski jumping right now, because you have got a team, you have got a tradition, you have got a brilliant venues where you can train it. Courchevel, Chonève, many other. Probably you got more work in hills than here in Poland. We got only 25 right now professional hills that you can train. So
No. But we have facilities, but not so much.
Okay, so but you had in the past so many hills, so many resorts where you can train this discipline, and last years it's decreased apparently. I really miss who was the Vincent de Compsavois.
The last top jumper.
Exactly, and I really liked him personally. He was that type of a guy who can push the whole discipline to the higher level, but it actually didn't happen. Probably people in France, I mean the officials in the National Skiing Association, don't like ski jumping. I don't know why, but this is my point of view. You get no money for finding some inventions to try new equipment to go to the competitions. Will it help the new regulations in quota for French jumpers? I don't really know.
not this year. No, but they try to close the gap, and but sometimes we are moving forward with a foreign coach and so on, and
it's one step forward and 2 steps back constantly since 10 years.
So we had Vincent de Compsavois, Manuel Chedal, and the new ones are good, but okay, something was wrong in the last 3-4 years. So, but they are still pushing and working hard from not the inside. I'm not inside, but from what we see in France.
Wish them luck, because ski jumping needs as much nations as possible.
And the biggest the gap is, the most difficult is close it. And if we remove France from the map of world ski jumping, if we remove Italy, but they are not in this situation, but ski jumping and Nordic combine is the same. They need like 12, 15 countries to be in, because at the end it's not an Olympic sport after, if you have only 6 countries at the top.
You're right.
So we talked quite a long time. I will just introduce the next event in ski jumping world, and you are involved. It's the European Games in Zakopane. So ski jumping in June with medals. That will be fun. Are you excited, or do you feel that people outside are excited?
I was scared of this competition, because first of all I thought that nobody will come that early during this during the season, because usually the athletes are training hard and in the weight room and so on, and they are pushing hard for the winter season. But apparently Sandro Pertile did a great job asking the federations to send their stars, and it happened. And I expect a nice competition, but I don't know who's gonna win on in the end of June. That's gonna be surprising. And I really like the way that ski jumping is moving into the summer period, because I can see this discipline in the future as an autumn winter sport instead of only winter. Using this plastic matting is very useful from time to time in the regions that snow is not falling anymore. So the excitement of this is thanks to the first ever international championships for ski jumping. So who's gonna win it? I don't really know, but I'm pretty sure some people will attend it to watch it in Zakopane.
To everyone who listen, that European Games is not only ski jumping. That's a lot, like 20, or you know better than me, sports like athletics, judo, karate.
Yeah, there are so many of them, but they are in original way. They are summer games. So having ski jumping included, it's quite exciting.
And I say, oh la la, you Polish, you are so amazing. So you say, okay, we invite all the sportsmen of Europe for the European Games in Poland, but we are Poland, so let's introduce ski jumping.
Yeah, and now we are moving to the beginning of our conversation about the fame of ski jumping in
So
Poland.
you are so good, Polish people, to promote ski jumping, and I think it's like a kind of conclusion from my side. If you have a question, feel free.
You know what? During this springtime, especially, I usually try to avoid ski jumping. There is an athletics season going on. Track and field is on the top spot in my heart. So it was really nice to talk about ski jumping from your perspective as well, as a Frenchman. And maybe now I a bit miss already ski jumping. Maybe not, I don't know. Usually I woke up in the late September that there is a season upcoming.
So the first competition is in less than 3 weeks.
Yeah, and this is crazy. I'm
really excited because I'm thinking about ski jumping a lot of time each day. So I'm excited about this European Games, and I hope French TV will broadcast it, which is the first step to enjoy it. And let's see. So thank you very much. It was really, really nice to talk with you. Probably I will do 2 episodes because we had a long talk. And for me, it was really special to talk with a Polish guy and have your point of view about a lot of points. And for everybody, I will give you the link to the movie of Michal, because it's a movie to be seen. So thank you very much. Have a nice day.
Thank you so much, and wish you luck whole of the ski jumping in France. Have a good day.
Thank you. Bye bye.